Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Jay's Beer Review. I'm here at the Ruck for the Ruck Extreme Homebrew Challenge. I'm here with the judges. We're getting ready to start our judging panel here. Down to the far down there is Russ from Homebrew Emporium. Next to him is Matt from foodjontop.com. Next to him is Howie Corbin, who is a writer for the Yankee Brew News. And of course there's myself, and then there's another gentleman who is a previous beer judge, but not from any particular organization that I'm aware of. So we're going to be checking this out, hopefully get some competition going on here to give out some awards for the best homebrew in the area. So we'll see. Cheers. We are starting off the first brew here. This is the Platinum series. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of different styles here in the judging today. We got a black IPA Cascade type category, a Platinum, a Rye, an Anthem, a Funky Fermentable, and a Fruit and Spice category. And we're starting off with the Platinum. We're going to be judging 6 different beers. We're using the BJCP certification score sheet. Basically, you get a score of 0 to 50. And unless a beer is completely terrible, it's going to score between 20 and 29. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, moving right along for our second category. It is the, we're going to call this the Black IPA Cascade Dark Ale / American Black Ale, Indian Black Ale, Indian Dark Ale category. This is a category that I'm looking forward to since it is a new popular style that is showing up. According to the BJCP certification, a black IPA is not even really categorized as a style yet. So you really can call it anything, an IPA if you want, that's just been colored to make it darker, or used a different type of malt grain to make it darker. But that's going to be fun to really try this category because there's really anything from an IPA to a porter on here because of the category that they're in. So it should be a lot of fun. Okay, I just finished reviewing the black IPA section of the dark ales. Looks like some of the other judges down there are getting down to their last few. We did have quite a few drinkable beers here. I think out of the 11 beers, I drank fully 5 of them. So much better category. And we're going to find out in a few moments just how everybody did. So cheers. All right, well, we're moving on to category 3. This is the rye section. We got about 11 beers. I'm about a third into it. And so far, I got a beer here that's outstanding that I really like that I would drink if it was on tap. The problem with it is the recipe calls for 30% rye malts being used. And this one has about 28-29%, so it has to be disqualified for not using just quite enough rye malts, which sucks because it's a great beer and it's probably the best beer I've tasted of the day. But moving along, enjoying myself at the Ruck Extreme Homebrew Challenge and judging all their different beers we have. I think there's something over 60 different beers that were entered to the competition, so cheers. Okay, I'm just about finishing up with the rye category, and there were some really, really good beers in this category. We had 11 beers, and I'd say 7-8 of them were good. A lot better than the first 2 categories. There were actually 3 beers that were phenomenal. There was a Russian Imperial Stout, there was a Belgian Yeast Stout, and then there was another stout. All the stouts in this category were phenomenal. Unfortunately, one of the stouts we had to disqualify, but an excellent category for beers as far as homebrewers go. Seems to be rye, seems to be easy to work with, so excellent job here for the homebrewers, whatever they may be. Cheers. Okay, I'm on the category 4 of the homebrew competition, and we've been here for quite a while. We get a little breaks in between, and this category is the Anthem hop only category, which means the only hop you can use in your recipe is Anthem hops. You're allowed to mix up the mash with whatever grain bill you want and even add some fun stuff to it, but the only hop you can use is Anthem. So I'm actually going to go through the very first one here because whoever entered this one used Fugal and Cascade hops as well, which means they're automatically disqualified, but we're still grading the beer just to give them an idea of what we think about their beer, even if they maybe broke the rule and need to be disqualified. So here we go. You can see we have an amber colored beer here. We don't really get a whole bunch of head retention on these little bit of samples we get, so we kind of skip that part of it. But we do look at the color, the clarity, and then we go with the aroma and flavor. On this one here, we get a nice caramel-like aroma to it. I'm surprised like the hop quality is not really high there. This is going to be considered a red IPA, so it's interesting because a red ale would have a caramel or a butterscotch-like aroma and flavor to it, but the IPA should bring in some citrus note, which we're not really getting. So they're calling it a red/IPA. So we're going to try it out. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid beer. They did a good job here. Unfortunately, they broke the rules by using hops other than Antium, so I would call this more on the red side than IPA. The bitterness is pretty low, but anyway, again, Rucks Homebrew Extreme Brewing Competition. Enjoying it, judging with all the panel of judges we have here, so cheers. All right, moving on. We're now doing the category called Funky Fermentables. And really, this category here allows you to be as creative as you want to be, which should be a fun category, because the only description that you must have in this category is a third of your alcohol content needs to be added from ingredients outside the grain bill. So this should be a fun category. I'm looking forward to seeing what we have. I can already see on the description of the beers, we got a Saison, a honey wheat, a sweet stout, a cream ale. So all different kinds of things going on here in this category. It should be fun. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm down to my final category, which is the fruit and spice category, which basically says it must have fruit, it must have spice, and you also can get bonus points for submitting a haiku and a best haiku overall. We've been here for 9 hours now, and we've had over 50 samples of beer, and I'm not exactly sure how great my judging is. My nose at this point is down to nothing, and we're even down to just 3 judges. We've lost a few along the way. But I've still been able to taste the beer, and I think that's the most important thing for the home brewers, to see if we like their beer. So we're going to go through and do this last tasting and see what we think. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and until next time, thanks for watching.